Hello and welcome to Agenda 2030. I am Tony Nkamiang John. For many reasons, the 2030 Agenda and indeed the Sustainable Development Goals are seen as more than the mere promise to ensure development. It is a call for service to humanity and a race for the ambitious goal of seeing an economically sustainable, socially inclusive and environmentally resilient world. Against this background, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari has been putting in place necessary policies and programs to ensure the attainment of the goals. On today's episode, we will be focusing on the efforts by the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to address the menacing challenge of out-of-school children. This will be after the news on the innovative approaches in the implementation of the SDGs from across the world. Just stay with us.
Scientists in Finland have created a new protein flour called soline that could replace palm oil and reduce deforestation using just hydrogen, carbon, and electricity. Soline is made by extracting carbon from air, which is then combined with water, nutrients, and vitamins using 100% renewable solar energy to promote a natural fermentation process similar to yeast and lactic acid production. The high-protein powder contains 50% protein, 5 to 10% fat, and 20 to 25% carbohydrate. The flour is made tasteless so it can serve as replacement for palm oil as well as for use in production of foods like bread, ice cream, and yogurt. Soline is expected to be launched in 2021, and its creators, Solar Foods, say it could compete in price with soya by 2025 and could be fed to livestock, preventing deforestation. The new protein flour is produced indoors, which means it's not dependent on arable land or weather condition. Diageo, one of the world's largest producers of spirits and beers, has, in collaboration with sustainable packaging technology company Pilot Light, created the world's first ever 100% paper-based spirits bottle. The completely plastic-free bottle is made entirely from sustainably sourced wood to meet food waste standards, and it's fully recyclable. The technology, which can be used across a variety of single-mold bottles across consumer goods, will help brands create new packaging designs. The new innovation will debut early 2021 with Johnnie Walker, while Unilever and PepsiCo are already setting plans to launch their own branded paper bottles in the same year. Amsterdam has adopted an innovative economic recovery model called donut economics to fast-track green recovery from the pandemic. The model is to help conceptualize what people need to thrive without harming the planet. The ring of the donut represents the ideal state for society, while its hole presents citizens who do not have basic necessities such as clean water, education, and healthcare. The aim is to get everyone in the hole onto the donut. To make the concept thrive without harming the planet, Amsterdam will transform how it manages trash and food waste, as well as build more sustainable houses to drive rental prices down, making housing fairer on the 20% of citizens who can't afford basic necessities after paying rent. U.S. cities of Portland, Oregon, and Philadelphia are already setting plans to explore the donut model. Most of the world's traded goods are transported through the shipping sector. But like other transport systems relying heavily on fossil fuels, the shipping industry currently emits 900 million tons of carbon dioxide annually. Though the sector aims to reduce its emissions by half by 2050, the pandemic could stall the decarbonization progress. Despite this challenge, Danish electric ferry Ellen has successfully completed 10 months of sea trials, and with an energy efficiency rate of 85%, the passenger ferry is capable of reducing carbon emissions by up to 2,250 tons a year, promoting decarbonization of the shipping sector, heightening transition to green energy, thereby saving the planet and creating more sustainable economies by 2030.
Recently, the governor of Gombe State, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya, was in the office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President to seek more partnership and collaboration. We bring you the fallout from the meeting, which saw the leaders charting the course for for the attainment of the goals, both at national and sub-national levels. Take a listen. The federal government has developed a strategic blueprint to address the menacing challenge of millions of out-of-school children in the country. This disclosure was made by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orilokwe Adefulure, while playing host to the Governor of Gombe, Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya, in her office on Tuesday. According to the presidential aide, the huge number of out-of-school children roaming the streets in Nigeria is a big challenge to both the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals and the overall development of the country. She said it was in response to this that the federal government developed a strategic blueprint to help move the children from the streets to classrooms. Princess Orilokwe Adefulure, who expressed optimism that the efforts will bring about sustainable solution to the problem, however, pleaded with the state government and other stakeholders to prioritize education as the real foundation for enduring development.
What we need to do now is to see how we can work with sub-national government, especially those people that fall into that category, and I'm happy that Northern Governors Forum has agreed that they work together to ensure that these young people are back in school. So alternative school program is being designed for this category of children, and of course we're working, this office is working with the Ministry of Humanitarian and working with the Ministry of Education on the, we've conducted I'll give you a copy of that if you have. We have conducted a research on how best we can get them back to school and what we need to do. That was that consultancy job was done, research work, sorry to say, was done in 2018, and we have the copy available on what, and it was done in about 6 states of Nigeria.
On his part, Governor Inuwa Yahaya assured of the commitment of his administration to the attainment of the SDGs by the 2030 target date, noting that with the support of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, the state has been able to develop an integrated SDGs-based development plan for Gombe. Governor Yahaya added that the 10-year development plan will further enable the state avoid the pitfalls that were evident in the implementation of the Millennium Development Goals by previous administration, while also fast-tracking all developments in the state.
Well, from inception, we came in with a mission, and we have a clear vision, to transform the lives of the people. And naturally, globally, there is the SDGs, which is endorsed by the United Nations and approved by all the countries of the world, that if you are able to achieve, naturally, you take development to the people and you go with the advanced world. So we didn't have any option than to go with the developed world and make sure that we achieve our aims and objectives without hindrance and as fast as possible. So to that extent, we realize that if we don't have a plan, you can be only jogging around without a clear destination, without an agenda of knowing where to go to and where to obtain what and at what point. That one is more exacerbated because of lack of resources. So it is upon that background that we now realize the need. And it used to be so before, but we realize that if we don't imbibe into all those practices of doing the needful, especially having doing a backward integration with a view to upgrading and upscaling to reach the highest level at the moment. And that is what informed our decision to set up a development plan in order to achieve our aims and objectives, which virtually is for us to advance humanity and make human capital development to be a priority, which is what is in the SDGs and which is what is in the minds of all development partners at the moment. So Gombe State is working towards achieving the, setting up an agenda that can be captured in our development plan that will take us to align with the SDGs, which is equally going to terminate by 2030. So by taking Gombe State through the development plan to align with the SDGs and the United Nations to achieve all those goals, 17 goals, I think we would have gotten all that we wanted. That is our mission, and that is what we are working for day and night. That is our idea of embarking on the development plan, and I'm happy that the SDGs office has accepted to partner with us and provide us the basic background and the support, technical support, with which now we can prepare the development plan and work for the people. Yes, we are on track, and we are working in conjunction with the SDGs, and I hope we are going to achieve our objectives. And that is even the essence of working towards having the development plan, so that we would achieve our aims and objectives. So far, I can say so very good. We are doing well.
Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya was in the office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs to seek partnership and support in a bid to place the state in the leading position in the implementation of the goals. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orilokpe Adefulure, assured the governor of the continuous support of the office to the state.
For us here, sir, we are ready to work with you and want to congratulate, like I said, that you have taken over from 3 or 4 states with this your development agenda. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations once again. And we said that we're going to make you a model for other states.
Public announcement. It has come to the notice of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, OSSAP SDGs, that some unscrupulous persons are using the name of the office to scam unsuspecting members of the public via a website with the URL www.sdgsnigeria.com.ng/loan/application under the guise that the office is offering loans to Nigerians. Preliminary investigations by the office have revealed that the site is carefully designed to lure unsuspecting members of the public to apply for non-existing loans while extorting money from them. For the record, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals is not in any business of giving loans to people, as that is completely outside the scope of its mandate. The office hereby wishes to also state that its official website is www.sdgs.gov.ng, and the website is primarily being used for the dissemination of official information with regards to the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals by Nigeria. The public is hereby advised not to patronize the scam site. Signed, Management.
This is the Pilot Science Nursery and Primary School, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, where the Smart Classrooms was launched on the 4th of August 2018 by the Vice President Yemi Oshibajo as the first phase of the project to enhance quality education in Nigeria. On this day, the management, teachers and pupils of the school were tasked to make judicious use of the digital technological gadget they had been trained on in order to give meaning to what they have learned. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orilokpe Adefulure, in agreement with NetDragon Websoft, providers of the digital learning equipment and other stakeholders, pledged to intensify efforts aimed at improving the education sector in Nigeria through the SDGs.
The children themselves are very happy. Within 2 days, they can operate and they can do a lot of things that you have seen them doing. We thank God that these children are very intelligent and all they need is encouragement for them to get to where they wanted to get to. And it's our role and responsibility as government, as their representative in government, and as parents to ensure that we provide the enabling environment for them, to encourage them, to educate them, not only to educate them for the sake of education, to give them qualitative education that will guarantee their future. And that's exactly what we are doing here. I'm very excited as a mother, and I'm very proud to be a leader that has facilitated this to this school and to our children, our future generation. So we are going to continue from here. The classroom has been, smart classroom has been donated. So it's our responsibility now to get more people to train as many as we can. We will have a schedule going forward to train all the schools in Abuja.
It's always our passion to take education everywhere to a place like Nigeria. So that's why we bring the whole team here, and so we can work with you. This is one of our passion. We take everything that we have and work with the local people, and hopefully we can help the education industry in Nigeria.
The school was given a facelift through the intervention of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs before the installation of the smart classroom. Therefore, the school could easily be taken for one of the top-notch primary schools in Abuja, especially with its low enrollment. But as discovered by the Agenda 2030 team, the smart classroom has revolutionized teaching and learning in the school, while the pupils have also mastered the technology. This is Victory Agudra, a Primary 5B student of the Pilot Science Nursery and Primary School. She and some of her schoolmates take us through how they have mastered the technology and the impact it is having on their learning at the school.
One over 4.
I have been able to cope. I've learned a lot and it was fun. I learned division, I learned how to weigh objects, and I also learned that I learned puzzles that will help us.
I know how to solve maths in it. I know how to do puzzles. Before, I didn't know how to even touch it. I was scared. I can even measure something inside the computer now.
The learning is very sweet and fun.
Okay. So how have you been able to cope with it? How have you been able to use it to learn it?
I've used it to learn plenty things.
Okay, like what can you tell us the things you've learned?
Like division, multiplication, comparing something, and the rest.
Head teacher of the school, Mrs. Rose Ngwandu Gonang, could not hide her excitement while explaining how the smart classroom has helped to improve teaching and learning in the school, while appreciating the OSSAP on SDGs for the initiative. Mrs. Rose told Agenda 2030 team how the new technology is facilitating teaching and learning in the school. She added that the smart classroom has also resulted in increased enrollment in the school.
I really want to send my appreciation to the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs. Only God knows what she has done to the life of these children and this community entirely of Use. Because before the arrival of the school, of this smart class or e-learning, digital learning as we call it, we have little enrollment. Because people don't have belief in LEA school, government schools. But with the inauguration of this smart class, digital learning, and the beauty of the school environment as done by the SDG under her supervision of the OSSAP, honestly, the kind of increase we have gotten in Pilot Science Primary School is great. It's great. It's so much. Parents are happy, children are happy. Parents will keep telling you initially, if you are waking up children, come to school, daddy leave me, daddy leave me. But with this smart class, will come, daddy, you are still sleeping, I don't want to miss my smart class today, or daddy. So you can imagine what that learning have done to the life of the children and the parents. So far, so good. The solar panel is working perfectly well. We always have light there. Nobody knows whether NEPA exists in that smart class. The batteries are working well, the fans, everything is smart class concerning the digital learning. For so far, so good. The parents now allow, some parents, especially men, don't even allow their students to touch phones. But with this one now, parents are leaving their phones because they say, in their school, they can touch even a bigger belente their phone. So the impact even on learning, now we teach with teaching aids because we download from that place. The children will run to smart class and say, look, I want to check something. They get their learning materials on the smart board. You testified yesterday now. You saw it. So the impact on their learning and the development, the assimilation is faster.
In fact, it's an interesting thing. It beats my imagination for such an improvement or such an initiation created by the SDG. So, in fact, I appreciate the initiative created by them or by the government to the institution.
When I heard about the smart class, first time it sounds very strange because such has never been, and it's not a familiar word, so to say. So I felt it's not achievable, it's not something to come by, and I was thinking it's one of those stories. But after the first time, I discovered that the pupils were doing great, doing wonderfully great, and I saw great improvement in their performance, and even the excitement to get out of home in the house in the morning to school. That's never been. So the boldness and all of that suddenly fizzled away, and it's a great thing. So kudos to the federal government and the office of the SDG for this great initiative.
Mr. Daniel Naftali is a smart classroom teacher. Agenda 2030 observed him taking the pupils on summer exercises using the smart classroom during our visit to the school.
So we are going to link these words with the pictures. All right? Yes. Okay.
The program has really been of help because since the inception of this program, you can see the children develop much interest in learning, and to a point that they normally ask teacher all the time that they want to be in the smart class because they find pleasure and they learn a lot of things.
Compare what we have here. Are you ready? How many of us get 4 over 4? 3 over 4?
From the beginning, just it's a new program. So personally, myself, I find little challenge, but along the way, I pick up. And the other challenge that we have is the issue of the network, which of course, to sometimes we find it difficult to make use of the tabs. But along the way, we make calls and they came to our rescue and everything. Since then, up to now, we don't have any issue.
Technology have actually impacted on the life of these kids in a variety of ways, considering the digital age, this jet age now, and there are so many things they've been learning theoretically in the class that have been difficult for them to understand practically. But with the help of this technology, we've been able to show them via YouTube how some of the practical basic science subjects and even mathematics, their fractions, how everything can be simplified. They've been able to understand it in a more easier way, unlike it were before. So I think this technology came at the right time, considering the period we are in now.
Remember, you can always watch this program and other episodes by subscribing to our YouTube channels on youtube.com/Fresh News TV and youtube.com/Agenda 2030 TV. You can also watch the program live on Facebook. Just log on to www.facebook.com/FreshNewsNG and www.facebook.com/Agenda 2030 TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Agenda 2030 TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to drop a comment and share with your contacts. Do use the hashtag Agenda 2030 and hashtag Agenda 2030 TV. And that has been the size of our program this week. Do keep a date with us next week as we bring you another refreshing episode. I am Toyin Nkamiang John. Thank you for staying with us.